Yes, people. Welcome to Never a Foul. Oh, la la. Dan's here in the building just on time as well. And you might have got his opinion last night. I've been told YouTube is acting up as well. So if you encounter anything, let me know as well because it's going a little bit dodgy. But joined by LB, Mr. Manager of the Year, Pep, in that direction. And you got George, whose team weirdly played today, I think in Australia.
Have you seen that Trippier's just got injured?
No.
Yeah, he's just been subbed off after 30 minutes.
Yeah, wait. Should we react like if I actually give a shit? Oh no. What are we gonna do for Euros?
To be fair, he's actually quite an important player for England, man. In this tournament.
Yeah,
he's gonna be our left back, isn't it? And
not for me. He's been getting skimmed all year.
Yeah, but he's not took two left backs, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's one left back now. It's just Shaw.
He took Shaw, and Shaw's probably going to get injured in the first game.
Well, you got
Shaw. Yeah, he's going to end up having to play a centre back at left back. 100%.
He's going to be a centre back, bro.
I think Joe Gomez has been.
Joe Gomez gone. Yeah. Joe Gomez is there, man. He's the
looks
perfect
like it. Yeah,
in there and
100%. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that Pochettino, etc. Now he's being linked with Man United, which I call a match made in hell, which is absolutely disgusting. Apparently, Ineos likes him. Of course, an Ineos story came out for that, and then on top of that, De Zerbi might be going Chelsea, might be going Man United. I think he's been ruled out for AC Milan now, which is, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'll be so real. And then the last one, obviously, Pep Manager of the Year, Chelsea going backwards, stuff like that. I'll probably give full my own opinions. But yeah, make sure you smash the like button as well. All of that would be much, much appreciated. What are you guys saying anyways, man? End of the year. It's about time, innit?
Yeah, man. All good. Good. Finally, the season's over. I would say we can enjoy summer, but
it's not over for certain teams, George. It's not over for certain teams.
Yeah.
We still have business to handle.
Shamelessly.
No one cares about that cup final, I'll be real. Ain't nobody going to be watching.
Oh, bro, if your club got to that cup final, bro, honestly, you'd probably have a parade before you even got to the final the way you guys move, man.
Ain't nobody going to be watching that game, man. It's a foregone conclusion. City have won it. Cool, wow, City have won it again. No one cares. On to the next, you know what I mean? That's the truth though. That is the attitude of I heard someone say it the other day, City winning it, cool, you do it, but there's no fun in it no more. I think it was Ty's tweet where he said it doesn't hit like another team winning something.
Liam Gallagher replied to him.
Hey, City City have won another one. Yeah.
It's fun for me. It's fun for me, bro.
Well, it's funny you say that, because well, at one point, how long are you not going to care until you do care? And then the second part is, I think if they win this FA Cup, I think they're 2 or 3 major honours away from Arsenal's overall.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's mad. That's mad in itself. But yeah, guys, make sure you keep smashing up the like button. Ches, it looks like you got a cold or something. What's going on there? But anyways, might as well start with the main man of the whole scenario right now. Pochettino, man. What's your thoughts on that, Ches? I obviously got Dan's thoughts last night. I'm pretty sure they remain the same. You might think differently.
Yeah, I spoke to you on the stream about it because I was a few teams before. Bro, like I've been saying throughout this morning, yesterday, kind of deserve to go. I don't really get... I get the rivals flip-flopping because obviously they want the agenda to be Chelsea stay where they are, which is understandable as rivals. But if you're being serious as a Chelsea fan, you look at the season holistically, take your feelings out of it, it's been poor. Half the season we were mid-table. People calling me billion-pound portal jobs. Bottled the final. We should have won that game. Everyone was saying we should have won that game. I agree. We lost that. Poor defensive record. The attack's been decent. He's established some players, so I'll give him credit for that. But overall, he probably just hasn't done enough to stay in the job. Now, the only reason there's outrage and there's question marks over it is because for 2 reasons. We need Europe next season, top 4, and the manager market. If we were linked with Hansi Flick and Tuchel and these sort of ilk of managers, no one would be saying anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
No,
are.
no, Chess. I'm not having you say that.
Oh,
Because
George, I didn't
when I
finish
said
off.
that
I
last
didn't
night,
finish. I didn't finish.
no, but when I said
didn't
that
finish.
last night, you would say,
I didn't
"Oh,
finish.
you're
I didn't
waffling."
finish.
You always say there's no unproven
George,
managers.
you need to
You're
bro.
just, you're,
So
li-
respectfully,
you're
I
literally
didn't finish.
naming the two managers that I put in the group chat
George, I'll say it
yesterday.
one more
What are
time,
you on
bro.
about?
I didn't finish what I was saying.
I don't.
because
I don't care if you finish. You
After
don't
I'm done, you can speak, bro.
I'm sorry.
Not now.
This is
Let me
never.
talk. Let me finish
how-
off, fam.
I'm not gonna let you finish. I'm
Why you
interrupting
let
you
me
right
finish
now
off?
because
You're
you're
like a-
taking
you're
my
like a kid,
words
bro.
and trying to make it your own. How are you taking my words and trying to make it your own?
Because you
Why
saw
are you making
sense,
this about
George.
you?
That's what it is.
Why are you making this about you?
It's because yesterday I was asking him like, "What managers do you want?" And Ches was like, "I don't know. I don't really know the manager options." And then I said, "Oh,
What?
Hansi
Bro, can you let me
Thomas Tuchel are
finish
the
off
only
so I can,
proven
like,
ones," and now
address
you're
all these
saying that.
points?
This is funny.
You're waffling. Yeah?
No one's
Let me
waffling.
finish
You're
off,
taking-
and then you can adjust what I said.
You got to
again.
come up with your own points. You can't be
Bro,
taking
you
my
like,
words and
bro,
trying to make
sit
it
in
your
the
own.
corner, yeah, in your hood on and shush. Anyway, as I was saying, bro, I was rudely interrupted by George. Rudely. As I was saying, I agree with him. The reason why there's question marks is because, like Dan will tell you, none of these guys are proven. Kaz will tell you the same thing. It'll be the same thing. None of these guys have a track record of winning. So if you bring someone in, it's a risk. But at the end of the day, this shows they do have standards. Because if they were feelings-based people, they would keep him in the job. It's easier to keep him than to sack him because of the turnaround in form. We were mid-table for 19 games. I was trolling my club. I'd hood on all season. People were laughing at my club, but now we should have kept him because of an 8-game sample size. And if you want to use the last 19 games, I have, fair enough. The last 19 games were 4th in the league. Cool. But guess what? The football's still being poor.
Big third now.
No, I think 3rd or 4th, but the football's still being crap. And the issue is, they've looked at it in Kaz and gone, you know what? Do we keep you in the job and risk it and not get top 4 and not get a trophy? Because there's no record of winning trophies other than PSG. Come on. Or do we go for the approach we've done with our team, with a young manager who's just going to do the coaching, we'll get the players and keep it stepping? Because if you own a business, you're not going to hire people who are talking up to you going, no, I don't want to do that. Bro, I don't want to do that. Why would you hire them in the first place? But I told Terry earlier, I was like, bro, in hindsight, he's actually done his job because he was only meant to be here for a year or 2 years, right? Was just come in, stabilize the team, get us Europe and a trophy. He's done half the job. He didn't win us a trophy. He got us back into Europe and he stabilized the team to a certain degree. You know that because the players don't want him to leave. So he's done half.
I've got a list. I've got a long list, by the way. Big up Carefree Lewis of why he should have been sacked for his crimes.
He should have been sacked before, but they do it end of the season and everyone's surprised. When they meant to do it then?
Yeah.
They've done it at the right time. If they got rid of him after the final, you man would all be sitting here saying Chelsea are circus. They got rid of the guy, give him a chance. We gave him a chance. It weren't good enough. We want to get a new manager. I agree.
Ches, I don't know if they've done it at the right time, right?
Dan, you told me when
they might have done it.
Then.
Okay, wait. They might have done it at the right time for how they want the club to run and their type of model, right? If they want to bring in someone without experience who's not going to win trophies with no track record, then they've done it at the right time. If they realise their mistake in appointing these managers with poor trophy records and lack of experience and whatever, and managers who are out of their depth like Pochettino, then potentially they could have got someone in who would guarantee that they could fight for trophies and challenge for top 4 instantly before the League Cup final. But I'm sure they could have done that. The results were so poor for so long before that they could have got him out the door and brought in someone who would potentially offer him a chance of success in that final until the end of the season. But ultimately, if they want to go for an inexperienced manager who's young, I think the best time to replace a manager is in the summer. So I hear you on that, but I think if they wanted to win a trophy,
obviously I'll be sitting here done next year, and if it doesn't work, I'll be the first one to say we're done at it. Do you know why? Because they would have gone back and forth, and it still hasn't worked. But at the end of the day, since the Koulibaly window and getting Tuchel out, they've got a clear approach. People might not agree with it, but they've got an approach they want to follow. And their standards, they're showing me they have standards. Because they saw, you know what, bro, whether Aston Villa fell off or United fell off, Newcastle fell off, and Spurs fell off, the facts remain we're 5 points behind 4th with 1 win and 2 extra draws. So they're probably looking at it going, bro, like, the injuries, you're partly to blame for that. The style of play and defensive structure, that's your problem as well. Why would we trust you if we need to get top 4 next season? That doesn't mean, George, before you come in and go, yeah, McKenna. That doesn't mean McKenna coming in is going to guarantee top 4. But the point I'm trying to make is they're saying I'd rather be more risk seeking than more risk averse.
No, but the point
That's
that
it.
I was gonna make was the
Go on.
fact that you haven't moved forward in what is it, 2.5 years with Clearlake now, or whatever, 2.5
We have
seasons?
moved forward. What do you mean? We have.
No,
Getting
we
to
haven't.
sixth.
We haven't
I'm
moved
sorry,
forward.
you've not moved forward. You're finishing sixth in the climate of the Premier League of where it's at right now was not a hard achievement. Look at your points total. You finished with 63 points. It's not like your club
Do
has
you agree
moved.
we underachieved then?
Well,
That means
again,
that means you agree with me.
The
Ches,
last action of
Like,
Roman
let me
Abramovich.
finish.
won
Let
the
me actually get
championship.
to what I'm
Dan,
trying
he
to
just
say.
said
Let me
contradicts
get
the
to what I'm
argument
trying to
before.
say.
That
Let me
means
get
he
to what I'm
agrees with
trying
me,
to
bro.
say. I'm not saying whether you achieved or unachieved because that's down to you what your expectations were at the start of the season. I expected Chelsea to finish in and around the European places. I don't know who thought they were going to finish 9th or 10th with the amount of money you spent. A lot of people put you in top 4. I didn't think you were going to get top 4. I think you'd finish in and around
I think I said
Europa
fourth,
Conference
yeah.
League,
I think,
Europa League,
yeah.
which is cool. You finished in a position that, for me, Poch has done a stellar job. Not a good job, not bad. He done a stellar job. Like you said, he steadied the ship. But now Chelsea are going to be taking another step back because you need to restart the project again. And how many times are you going to restart the project? Like you highlighted, there is no, let's be honest now, there's no win now manager in football at the moment. Unless you go get Conte.
So it's a good question what you just said. Not making a point. Question. How are we going to restart the project by getting a new manager?
Because when you bring in a new manager, a new project starts.
Yeah,
It's
come on, bro.
essentially
When you get
because
a
a
new
whole
manager,
new
you
style
get
of
a new
football.
project, isn't it?
You get a whole new style of football. He's going to want to play the way he wants. He's going to want players that he wants. Essentially, the Poch's biggest thing was that he didn't get the players he wanted. He's not, and we all agree the players and the team was not good enough for him to do any better than he did at the moment. Maybe the results or performances could have been better, but this team and players could not perform at a higher level. They're just not good enough. Poch needed better players. He asked for better players. He didn't get them.
I agree
And the ownership,
Me and Jam will disagree with you that one, Akala. I've been to games, bro. I've seen it with my own eyes.
That's down to you, but I don't think the players are better than they are. I think a lot of the players are shit. I think
I
some of
think
them
we should have finished above you. I don't think you were that. I don't think your team.
Tottenham's team was better, but we lost 5
I
of
don't
our
think your
last 6
team.
games. So of course
I mean,
that you caught up to us. That's just natural. But again, we're not speaking about Tottenham right now. I was speaking about Chelsea.
Yeah, fair.
My whole point here is that when you start this new project, you're going to have a new manager comes in. He might not like some of these players. So you're going to have to do a clear out of some players, bring in a lot of players. And then what happens when you finish 6th again? That's not on the manager. If you finish 6th again next season,
you're missing the point.
No, but let me finish my point, bro. When you finish 6th again next season, you're going to be in the same position as you are right now, and you're going to have to sack him. And there is no good managers out there that are going to guarantee you or even push you forward and be like, yeah, this manager is going to be able to get us top 4. Because the gap between you and top 4 right now, yes, the table may not show it, but it is larger than what the table shows. Let's be honest.
You said many things incorrect there, which are very wrong. You made a wrong statement when you said the manager's going to want to get rid of players. Firstly, he's not going to be a manager. He's going to be a head coach. The second thing is...
and the head coach still wants to get rid players.
Let me correct you, because you said things that are literally factually incorrect.
Him being a head coach doesn't change the fact that he will want his
why you're incorrect is because that's the whole point of why they're getting rid of my man. It's because the guy who's coming in won't have a say. It will literally
and that's always going to be a problem. That's the point.
Oh,
that's
you're not getting it. You're not getting it. That's why, bro, you can answer your own question. That's why we're going for these guys, the young guys. Because they're literally going to tell them, bro, we rate your coaching credentials. You're going to come in, coach the team, we give you. That's it.
Or they want a yes man, basically. Because
every club wants a yes man. What the hell are we doing?
Oh, yes men don't really get too far in football.
But where's Klopp got for? Where's Klopp got then?
Klopp's not a yes man. He got his signings.
Alright, cool. So what we're saying is Klopp was happy with all the signings they were making. Is that what we're saying?
As of recently, it's been confirmed that Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and some of the other recent players were his signings. Prior to then, when Michael Edwards were there, they weren't his signings. But Michael Edwards left because him and Klopp used to disagree.
You're not being logical, man. You're not being logical at all.
But
you're not making any sense.
Let me move it.
How am I not making sense?
Let me move it a little sec. By the way, YouTube's messed up, so you don't. If you're going to see, oh wait, is no one watching this? That there are people watching. It's just a blank at this moment of time. But do smash the like button. I don't know how many of you are actually in here. Can't tell, but do smash the like button. Get this as high as possible, as well, and then we'll see where it goes afterwards. He's not here at the moment. Iron. It says, "What's the vision, though, Ches? What's the vision?" Actually, I will be that. What's the vision? Like honestly, as someone looking in. Like from our perspective, obviously not a Chelsea fan. What does it look like?
Well, obviously, it just looks like a mess, isn't it? Clearly is a mess. I mean, they've had what? How many managers they had since they've been in charge? These owners.
Now it would be 7 or 8, I think now.
Six.
In 9
six.
years.
It's just ridiculous. It's just
No,
ridiculous.
since Clearlake. Six.
Since Clearlake, it's just mad. And I'm looking at it and thinking, there's a good chance they'll go backwards next year. Because Newcastle have had a poor season. Newcastle will be up there. Tottenham will get better. You assume. Villa are going to strengthen. They're already making moves in the market. And then you've got the big three up top in Arsenal, Liverpool and City. So I'm looking at this and just thinking, this is just on madness. Like, I don't rate Poch in that year. But like, if you're getting rid of him to get someone like McKenna in, that is, for me, that is just absolutely bizarre. Absolutely.
Should we go through some of the list, LB? Right. So from the top of my head, there's a guy from Stuttgart, but he even rejected Bayern. His name's Honus. Man said his name's Honus. You got a guy coming in called Arnish Slut, and you got another guy coming in potentially called Honus. Can you imagine? Anyways, got Thomas Frank is looking like the most ideal candidate or the top candidate at this moment of time. But I'm not going to believe the Jacob Steinbergs of the world because I think he's a fraud like Ben Jacobs and Dean Jones.
You know what they really need to do? Go Crystal Palace and chuck about 20 more Oliver Glasner. That's probably their only chance.
Yeah, but then that's
a good style of
we
don't
know if that's
sustainable, of course. And if he's actually going to be able to do it at the top level, I agree. But
it's not that, mate. He got 20. If I remember correctly, he managed that. Was it Werder Bremen? No, Wolfsburg.
Frankfurt.
Is it the one where he got Weghorst to score like 20 goals?
No, he managed a team that beat West Ham in the Europa League final that time. So he's won trophies. Frankfurt.
Well, Glasgow, we don't know because remember, I'm not saying that he's not a good manager or anything, but even Roy Hodgson got them cooking at the end of last year. You don't know if there's a manager about.
Days, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I've seen a link with Kieran McKenna, Thomas Frank, that guy from Honus from over in Bundesliga, and Michel from Girona, and obviously I ain't really seen much around. What's his name? The Zerbia at this moment of time. But if they put the release clause quick, like a 4.5 million or whatever it was, and then got rid of Poch, you can kind of link that quite well. So, and they said it's a matter of days, not weeks, whether they're gonna announce a new manager. Yeah, they already know who it is. But right now, everything's towards Thomas Frank, which is quite weird. In my opinion, but it's not guaranteed.
That's what I was saying before.
Pep is a yes man, bro. Didn't know who Doku was when he signed him, and now Paul's signing Slot, who's fine with having no say in transfer. Why are we acting like it's a new thing to have a director of football's doing a job?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the managers also want their own players as well. That's also what we're saying, isn't it?
He wanted Vardy.
I don't. Wait, sorry. This comment is partly true, but it's partly wrong because in a football club that runs a good way, like Pep, he will be in the meetings with the director of football and the scouts, and he will say, "Look, I want to play like this." They might choose the player and be like, "Look, is this okay? Does he?" And then he would have just been, "All right,
George, you know what the difference is, though?
And I'm not. And the same thing with like Tottenham. Tottenham have had this thing where the board and the director of footballs, they choose the players, but it's all in conjunction with the manager. The manager needs to have a say in the players.
Actually,
you know what it is as well.
Wait. One second. All you got to do is go watch the documentary on Man City. Now I know it might be hard for some people to watch, but you can go see Tiki, you can go see Solano and Pep all in the meeting room and looking at different positions and stuff like that. They're all talking. So Pep's not a yes man. He's all there because it's cohesive as a unit. I was talking about that yesterday.
Guys, I'm not saying get a manager and nod his head down and go, yo, you do this. But one point is, you're talking about Pep. He's granted that kind of access into those rooms, bro. It's a bit different. Like Pep's earned the respect of the ownership for him to sit on the table and have a say with the man.
No, you don't earn it. Most managers are in the meeting rooms with the players.
No, but that's the point, guys. The super chat is trying to say having a head coach that just does primarily, not everything, primarily the coaching isn't abnormal. So I'm gonna go.
It won't be successful in the long run. That's the point. It's not.
How does Klopp work then? How the hell is Klopp work?
Because we've just explained Klopp
wanted Julian Brandt. He got Salah. I can go on, by the way. Don't let me bring up the facts.
You've got two players. You're naming players that are like highly known.
No, I'm using it as a microcosm to my point. My point is,
but you're failing to acknowledge that as of the recent years, Klopp made those decisions with Nunes, with Diaz. You're not sitting there and saying, "Oh, he chose Diaz, he chose Nunes." They were Klopp signings. So going back 7 or 8 years for when Michael Edwards was there is pointless.
That's my point, George. You just made my point. My point is, when he wanted the players he wanted, and they gave him what they thought was best, it worked out better for the club. They stepped out. He decided to do transfers, or not transfers, but had more of a say. He bought Nunes and Diaz, who the reason why they didn't win the league, and the flops.
That's not the reason why they didn't win the league.
No, but you're not. Obviously, I'm being like obviously I'm being over exaggerating a bit. But you get my point. He chose the players he wanted, and recently we've been saying Liverpool's recruitment's poor, and that's why Monts and them are twerking for my man, because they know he's better at getting players.
I'm not saying, but would they have sold a player at Liverpool if Klopp didn't want him to be sold? Because that's what they're talking about with Gallagher, innit? He don't want him to sell Gallagher, and apparently they need to sell him.
LB, the difference is if Gallagher was a player that was very technical, high ceiling, had a good potential in the squad, I don't think they'll be selling him. The reason why they're getting rid of him is because everyone knows and sees with their eyes he's very limited.
Yeah, but the manager wants to keep him, though, bro.
That's the point, though, when the manager's not here long run. So why would you listen to a short-term manager over a long-term project? Again, we're not making sense here.
But Ches, how you're not making sense is you're saying that the director of footballs and the owners know better than the manager of what on players that play their system. You may think Conor Gallagher on the eye isn't as pleasing as some other players, but Poch knew that he was vital to his system, and the stats prove he was vital to the system. So whatever you say is irrelevant because Poch made him an effective player for your team. If Clearlake now say, oh, I want to get rid of him to balance the budgets against what the manager says, that's just a mess. And the fact that will continue to happen with a lot of players, even if a new manager comes in, let's just say new manager comes in, he says, I want Conor Gallagher. I saw what he done last season. I think, like you said, I can coach him to another level because you want to coach him. So what about when they say, no, we're going to sell him? You think that that's the right way to run the football club?
I think
no, that point I understand. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that premise. Like, you want to stay.
You know what though? Like on that notice as well. Yeah. By the way, guys, keep smashing the like button. We're not even on 150 yet. YouTube is messed up. If you're confused, don't look at what the views are, whatever it is. I don't know what they are. So do keep smashing the like button. But even do chime in, Dan, on that. Like the bigger question is, or even for you, Ches, is this more like a lookalike? Is Chelsea looking like they're going to go backwards potentially? Because, like, don't get me wrong, sixth ain't nothing to glaze over about. You know, like you can barely glaze over a Carabao Cup trophy. It's still decent for the season it is. But the whole point was establishing identity. And in the last, what can you say, 5 months, Dan, Ches, that you established some sort of identity? The results ain't gone the greatest, don't get me wrong. But what manager is going to guarantee you at this moment of time to go further than sixth? Because De Zerbi is a whole new entity. De Zerbi and Man United makes sense because you need to establish something. We thought at Chelsea there was something established. You know, Cole Palmer having a season of his lifetime, right? We don't know if he's going to play in the same position, let alone have the same outcome with the same manager, like that sort of relationship. You can't just keep hiring and firing managers. Don't get me wrong. 6 months ago, getting rid of him made sense. Like, we was like, yeah, get rid of him because he was playing Conor Gallagher and Chilwell at left wing at sometimes, you know? He took Chukwuemeka from Mudryk and collapsed your whole West Ham thing that when he was battering them. So what do you think? Is this a big risk? I vote you two.
I don't know. Kind of. I think the biggest risk is the image that Chelsea Football Club's now going to be portrayed in. I don't see who would view Chelsea as an attractive proposition at the moment. The club's a mess. You can't, if you're going in as a young manager, you know you're going to need time. You know you're going to need to be backed for the long run, and they're just as likely to sack you because you're going to be the sixth manager that they've had in, well, it'll be their third season. So I think the risk comes from the image that they're portraying the club in. They're on about increasing revenue. They're going to lose fans. They're going to lose potentially positions in the Premier League again next season by starting the project all over again. I think it's a massive backward step in terms of the approach that it looks like they're going to make. If they are sacking Pochettino and moving for an elite manager, I'd be absolutely all for it. The thing that worries me, I don't want Poch at the club. I made that very clear from the get-go. What worries me, though, is the grass might not actually be greener as well at the same time.
Yeah, on that, Dan, 100% like, Kaz, to your point here, if it doesn't work, then it's peak. Obviously, next year we could be sitting here saying, this guy coming in, you thought it'd work and it's flopped again. But we keep saying how it might not work. What if it works, though? What if we get...
Yeah, but people need to realise, Ches, that a style of football ain't everything. De Zerbi's played lovely football every game at Brighton, yeah, when they've got the chance to, but where have they finished in the league?
It's not just about that, those results. If Poch was playing a good style of football and we got in the Carabao Cup in sixth place, he'd still be here. is because
No, he wouldn't, mate. No, he
He
wouldn't.
would,
I
he
think
would.
no, he wouldn't.
No, I don't
He
think
absolutely wouldn't. He wouldn't be there because he's gone against what this ownership and this board see and view as the vision of the club. And they view the vision of the club that someone who's going to coach this squad of players has absolutely no input in the players
No, but
that he's going to manage, though.
what I'm saying
And that's
is,
why he's gone.
I know, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think the reason why he was coming out and speaking so much is because the results were poor and he was trying to alleviate himself of any sort of blame.
No, he only started coming out
I
speaking
think
when we were winning
He
games.
didn't. He's been making excuses since what? Game week 3?
No, not excuses, but he's only just started
No,
trying to
and let's not
work
listen,
his
let's not be
exit
revisionist.
strategy since he's been winning games.
Let's not be revisionist. Let's not sit here and act like history didn't happen because the narrative has changed right now. I'm just keeping it real. If
Yeah, but he
good,
wasn't.
I'm upset.
He wasn't
Dan,
trying to manipulate an
on
exit,
game
though,
week
was he?
3,
until like literally the Forest game.
On these streams, I've never actually said Poch out like that. I've never been like, oh, get him out. So I'm not changing my tune or something because he's gone. I'm just keeping it real. During the season, there's been a lot of noise, a lot of should we sack him, Poch out chance, all this stuff. Okay, that didn't just change because he left yesterday. So let's not look at it and go, oh, like, was it as bad as we thought it was? It was quite bad. Like, we're mid-table for 19 games. So when he's leaving the club, George, yeah, and people are like, oh, yeah, but you turned it around the last few games. Why do you not want to keep him? It's because of the results. I get, in my opinion, Dan, if we'd won the Carabao Cup, we didn't concede 60 goals, how much it was. I mean, good style of football. We finished 6th. I think he'd still be here. Because he'd have a good case.
He wouldn't, because he wouldn't change his views. He'd go, I won the League Cup, and ultimately I finished 6th in the Premier League, right? No different. He could have won the League Cup with exactly the same games played and everything. We just would have won it, whatever. It wouldn't have changed anything because he would have got to the end of the season and said, look, I need more input on the playing squad that I'm allowed to manage here. And they're going to turn around and say no. And then they're going to say, he's going to say, well, I can't work at this club. And they'll say, all right, you're free to go. That's exactly what's happened.
If that's the case, what's wrong with that then?
The only way, Chez, I'll tell you, the only way they might have looked at it and gone, okay, we've made a mistake here, we were wrong, is if he'd gone and won the league, right, and proved everyone that he was perfect for this job and they need to back him. But Pochettino didn't do enough for 20, 25 games to even suggest that he's worth backing. And it was only through default and injuries that he ultimately then found a squad. Mate, if we hadn't got down to 11 players and kids on the bench, Pochettino might have never started winning games. Don't forget that when he had the players that were available and he had these players fit, he was misprofiling them for half the season. It was only when he literally had 11 players he had to work out.
No, we're speaking the same. I agree with you, by the way. I'm trying to look at.
I just don't think, Chez, that even if he'd won the trophy, he'd be there. I think he'd be gone because his opinion.
No, I think what I'm trying to say is like I feel like you're right, by the way. Then facts. I don't disagree with anything you just said. I think what I'm trying to say is that he didn't help himself. So that's why we agree. So people trying to act like this is a mad shock, and who are you gonna get? I mean, we keep talking about if it goes wrong. What if it goes right? What if we do
That's
get?
what I was going to ask. So, who do you think could come in and it potentially go right? That you go forward, that you don't finish 6th, that you take a step. If it's 5th, 4th,
the only people I'd want to have are people who done stuff exceptionally in it. So McKenna, granted the relative level, he's gone back-to-back promotions. That's an exceptional achievement. De Zerbi, in my opinion, getting 6th place for Brighton is above the even a good level. That's quite good to do, right? So those two managers are the only ones I'd look at. Even the Stuttgart manager getting Champions League 2nd place, that's an exceptional season for how much they spend and what their achievement was. Anybody other than that, I'm not going to be filled with.
Chez, can I ask then, following on from that, because you agree with the model that you're currently undertaking, which is fine. I don't
agree with it, but I understand it.
You understand it, but you also accept that that's the model.
I'm being logical. I don't agree with it, but I understand what
you accept it. That's my point. You accept that.
I'm not accepting it.
You're just being silly now. If you accept the model, you said I'm being logical. You accept the fact that that's going to happen.
Yeah, but what choice does he have, George, other than to turn like a Johnny Minerals?
You accept it. That's my point.
How am I accepting it if I understand what they're doing? Use your brain. What are you talking about?
George, we've got 8 years. We have left of the Clearlake being Chelsea owners as an absolute minimum. They're gonna. They want to follow this.
So you accept that this is going to be the model, and so if you know that this is going to be the model, what manager do you even think this squad is good enough to take a step forward next year?
100% it is.
Yeah, it is. It is
100%.
because of the amount of injuries that the squad sustained this season.
Everyone had
until-
injuries this season. We're not
Yeah,
using
okay,
that.
Who had
George.
the most,
Come
George?
on.
I think Chelsea had the most, and probably to their
Doesn't
most
matter.
crucial player. It does matter. It matters quite a lot, actually. They probably had the most to their most crucial players, right? And they have done for years. It's not necessarily just on Pochettino, by the way. And I think the board really need to remember that, because don't forget last season, N'Golo Kante couldn't play a game to save his life, same as Reece James,
So that's
same
a
as Ben
medical room
Chilwell.
issue.
There's a huge medical issue at Chelsea.
George,
The
what's
job's
even
still
the
available
question,
on jobs in
And
football. It's
and
been
so
there for
with that,
months.
Dan, you said it happened last year, and it's been a long-standing problem. Do you think that that's going to improve next year?
No, I don't, because
So then,
I don't think they can. I don't think they can find the answer to that problem. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
No,
the
but George, that's a
air
stupid
in common.
argument. Do you know why?
it's not a
Because
stupid argument, because if you don't think that's
George,
going to get better,
Can I respond to that though? Because I asked
Go on,
Kaz a question.
go on.
Kaz,
Well, go on.
next season, yeah, you have a board, you spend loads of money, Ten Hag stays. We have injuries. Are you going to accept 10th or 8th?
No.
There we go. So this is my point.
I'm not saying will you
wait,
accept it, but
one
George,
sec.
let me respond because I had a point.
One sec, Chez, because my point is we have spent money and we did finish 8th, and I want him sacked now.
There we go. So my point to George, he's saying to me, injuries, they don't really matter. We've all had injuries. No, it matters, bro, because the system is very important. So that's the reason why Poch wasn't good enough, because with the injuries we've had, there was no system in place that allowed us to progress in the league.
but my point
When
is that
George, when he introduced a system, where are we now? 6th. Why didn't he do that before? Was there.
my point essentially is that if you're going to continue to have these medical room problems you've had last season, you've had this season, a lot of these players you've got are just injury prone at this rate. Let's face the facts. Next season, they're probably going to face the same issues. Chelsea are probably going to have a high number of injury issues with some of these same players.
Well, in fairness, they did say that Pochettino's tactics, the training methods were quite outdated, and it was a lot of it to do with. Yeah, and it does impact yourself. AP here, big up Monster. You got a bit of sleep in your eyes, G. AP says Ten Hag gets a say on signings. I'm only joking. Ten Hag gets a say on signings, and look how that's working. Chez is right. Even at Real Madrid, the managers aren't that involved in signings. That's the difference, though. When a club has too much power with signings, sometimes it goes wrong. But when a manager has too much power with signings,
the other way there, though. He's gone way too far the other way. Well, no one's saying give someone the keys, but there's got to be like a little bit of a to and fro. You can't just have the board completely making the signings, and you can't just have the manager making all the signings. But the manager has to have some input.
Also, Real Madrid is a bad example because they only sign superstars, so it's always going to work. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but they have just gone for a rebuild, by the way, like Real Madrid. And how
many of the top?
How much of an input has Ancelotti had on that? I don't know, to be honest with you.
Well,
I think
need to, bro.
I think he's a big enough influence. Yeah, like Mbappe. Now, who doesn't want to play under Ancelotti?
I'll tell you what, if Ancelotti went to the board at Real Madrid,
let me do this super chat quick. Big up AP again with another super chat. He says, "Are we forgetting Poch also wanted a new contract after finishing 6th and playing horrible?"
You know what I'm saying? He actually did, you know.
Did he actually want a new contract?
He wanted a long-term contract, Kaz.
Well, to be fair, he's got a year left on his deal, and he only got to give him 2 years.
He wanted a long-term. That means 3 to like 5
He was
years.
trying to secure his family, man.
Yeah.
Allow him.
I told this guy to go Cancun with his missus time ago, and he didn't listen.
This is business, man.
You know what I'm saying? Go Cancun with your babes. Do up bikini. You know what I'm saying?
You have to, I know. Obviously, I missed it, Richard. Are you like how are you happy with him being sacked, or are you kind of like, wrong time to sack him, even though maybe it wasn't good enough?
I was indifferent 2 days ago, and now he's got sacked. I'm still indifferent. I don't really care, innit? Just leave. Like, I'm not really gonna sit here and like Dan's right, Kaz is right, George is right. Everyone's right. Like, no one's wrong with their opinion. It's more like how you want to see it. I'm more on the train of thought of they're here for 8 years. The players are here for time. Poch is never meant to be here in the long run anyway. The manager market stinks for everyone. You've got Arnie Slot. These men have no manager at the moment because Ten Hag's getting sacked.
Whoa! I just asked you if it was.
No. I'm overruling like my point. Basically, you can understand my point if you haven't heard me yet. So my thing is like, yes, McKenna and these men aren't proven, but what am I supposed to do about that? But even the top coaches, if we were linked with them, there's debates over all of them. If we were linked with Flick, Tuchel and them, man, people would still be saying to me, yeah, but Tuchel, yeah, but Flick hasn't done it for a minute. It's fair points.
No. If your list was Nagelsmann, Flick,
it still wouldn't be like wow.
It wouldn't be wow, bro. I promise you.
Look at your list last year compared to this year. Last year,
Nagelsmann, Flick. First. Bro, listen, that list, bro, for you to get rid of Poch and for that to be your list is just very conflicting, in my opinion. And it's very conflicting. As I said, if it was Flick, Nagelsmann type of thing, that type of, because they're kind of the upper echelon of managers now, because obviously the manager market's not as great. But it's like someone said it yesterday on the live. Do you guys want to challenge now, or do you guys want to build for the future? Because if you want to build for the future, why are you man still doing this hire and fire business? You know what I'm saying? Our good friend Don tried to convince us that you guys have changed and this hire and fire regime was going to slowly wither away in Chelsea Football Club. But clearly it hasn't, because it's 4 managers in 2 years, 6 if you're including the 2 interims. So
I don't think this dismissal is based on results, though, Mons.
No, it's not.
No, regardless,
Right.
regardless, bro. Like you're getting rid of managers willy-nilly. It's always uncertainty around the club, and we're in an era where footballers, I feel, are a bit more sensitive and a bit more bitch made, and I feel like they need certainty in order to get a certain amount of commitment and desire out of some players. Like certain men who have got mad game time this season are not going to know where they stand. No, they don't know where they stand. They don't know what's going to happen.
And the thing is as well, Monchi, a lot of these players are not going to like this decision, because a lot of the players liked him and obviously they finished strong. A lot of the players probably thinking, you know what, next season we can take a step forward.
Let's kick on.
And then obviously Poch has gone into the meeting and strong-armed the guy and said, give me what I want. The guy's gone no, and now he's gone. But now the players are going to be gutted because all the players are clearly liked him.
I hear that.
Yeah, because they had an easy ride under him, LB. He's a nice guy, isn't he? That's the thing.
Easy ride. They had 2 training sessions a
Yeah,
day.
but Dan, it's irrelevant though. It's irrelevant. The point is what Monch was saying. It's unstable. They've now got to start again, and obviously the players, are they going to buy into the new manager straight away when they like when?
Yeah, but
clearly-
they ain't got a choice, mate. Do you know why? Because they signed up to it.
Well, yeah, well, you can say they've not got a choice, bro.
If we
but-
sign them, do you think the project was when they signed Enzo and Lavia, you're going to be with Poch for 8 years? Of course.
No, but that's irrelevant though, bro.
No, that's
The point-
not.
No, it is relevant.
You're
Do you
taking
know
my-
what
it's not relevant at all.
One
It's
sec,
not-
one sec. Let me ask you a question. Do you think when they signed, they were under the assumption that we have 1 or 2 managers?
We all know that.
So my point is this. Yes, you're right. The continuity is probably gone out the window because they like Poch hugging him and that. But Dan's right. We were mid-table. We just got laughed at by everyone in this panel for becoming
No, but bro, you're missing the
now
point,
all of a
bro,
sudden we're
because-
like, oh,
No, but the point that I was
kept him,
making,
man.
bro, the point that I was making, no, I'm not saying you should have kept him. The point that I'm making is because Mont said it's unstable. The players clearly liked him towards the end. I feel like the players felt that they was building something for next season, and now he's gone. You've got to start all over again. Are these new players going to initially, they might buy into the new manager after a month or 2, but are they going to buy into it straight away? They're going to go into training next season and go, why the fuck is this guy here? Why they shouldn't have sacked Poch?
No, I hear that, but like,
Honestly, wait, LB, you know why it's even going to be worse? Because the type of manager they're going for is a manager that's probably going to be unknown. It's not going to be a manager that they know, not someone that they're familiar with. So they're not going to have the respect. They're not going to respect him. There's going to be a lot of players that are going to come in and be like, Kieran who, bro? Who's this guy telling me to do? Like,
Exactly,
they probably
man.
they don't know him. They've probably been getting paid more money than for years. They're bigger footballers and bigger names than him. So that's a problem. That is
George,
a big
it's
problem.
I completely
George,
agree.
George,
with
That's
you.
true. It's
That's
true.
absolute facts.
Bro, it's a massive contradiction. How are you giving players death row contracts, but managers are getting a max lifespan of 11 months? That is the
They're
most.
they're basically proving that they believe the playing staff are far more integral than a manager to the project this club.
But bro, do you know how backwards that is for
Well,
players
yeah,
to be
it is,
tied
but the
down
problem
for
is
7 years and the manager to have a max lifespan? Well, so far in the last 2 years of an average 11 months.
Yeah, but
That
Mons,
is
no one's
crazy.
gonna. Mons, you're absolutely bang on, by the way, and that's exactly what most Chelsea fans.
I'm saying you can't control that as a Chelsea man. I know you can't control that, and I know you man have to basically just accept it because it's what it is. But we can still highlight that is obscene. And then on top of that,
of course it is. But that's what happens when you hire or when owners take over who have absolutely no idea of the sport that they're going into, and then they hire directors who are obviously yes men as well and happy to kind of sit there and go on this model that some American businessmen have drawn up as they think the right way to play football.
Do you know what I'm saying? But
this should probably work under Roman though. Don't get me wrong. Roman would have probably got rid of
Poch would have never got the job under Roman
Poch would
because he
never
learned his lesson with Benitez.
Yeah, like I understand it. But it's just your list on top of it, bro. Like your list are guys that aren't as like probably aren't even as good as Poch when he's thriving. And it's like you've taken.
No, they're not though.
You know what I'm saying? It's like for me, the fan base. don't take this the wrong way as a Chelsea fan base, innit? But you man are daddy's money FC. And when I say that, it's like, for me, if something don't go well in 3 months, I want him gone, change it, buy something. That's a lot of the fan base, in my opinion, innit? And so if managers are going to keep getting filtered in, a rapport is never really going to get built with the fans unless someone is instantaneously successful and sustaining their success, which isn't going to happen because look at the type of guys you're looking.
No, but Mons, you know what I'd say to that though? I agree with that point. Like, don't get it wrong, yeah. The reason why I'm indifferent is because if he had stayed, I would have liked to see continuity. So I'm not disagreeing with you and ALB when you say it's better if he stayed. The players like him. There's a good vibe in the dressing room. I agree with you. It's all facts. But what I would say is Xabi Alonso, these men, Arteta hasn't won anything, so I'm not going to use him. But Xabi Alonso, for example, 2 years ago, was a nobody, which is the footballer, cold footballer.
No, he weren't. The difference is.
I'm not using the extreme to make. Well, one sec. Don't take my extreme.
About one of the best footballers.
Don't use my extreme Xabi Alonso and assume that I'm saying that that's going to be McKenna. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm saying
what you have to go back to George's point there. Yeah, Ches, is that if you're bringing in Xabi Alonso, there's instant respect. It's like, fuck, when I was growing up, that guy was the bollocks. Now, Kieran McKenna comes in and go, oh, yeah, that's that geezer that got his team sacked from Man United, like when obviously he was there as a coaching staff, and that's all they're going to know about him. And then, oh, yeah, he's done well in the Championship, but look at Company last season. Like, there's just no, and the fans are going to be straight on McKenna's back because they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, he did all right, but what the fuck are we doing hiring him? He should have gone Brighton. Yeah, it's going to be
thrown under the bus, bro. It's thrown under the bus, Dan. Straight away.
What are we doing here? You're taking Championship football and making it seem like it's going to.
You man all saying it's not going to work. Then
what I'm saying is that again
the risk.
There's a risk, but I want to hear you man's opinion because you can say the negatives.
I think it's very unlikely that Kieran.
Are Chelsea going to go backwards next season? Yeah.
If McKenna, in fact, I'll just vote. Yeah, I think you're going backwards.
We're going backwards. That's mean no trophies, and we're going to go lower than 6th.
Yeah, I do. I think so.
Calm. Kaz, what about you?
I think 6th. You know what? I think you got really good players. I'll be honest, and I think you're going to continue to buy some decent players. I don't know, but the thing is, I don't know what your board's going for these days because their model's changing for the under 25 stuff. I don't know if you're going to secure whatever you're going to secure. You should be all right in terms of quality wise. Should be all right, but can I see you going a bit further than that? Again, it's a big 50-50, mate. It could either go low in terms of he might get sacked 6 months through or something again because the player's not buying into him, or it could go really well and you can find yourself in 4th place because your quality is still there. Look at Man United last year. Don't get me wrong, they had a decent manager at that point and everything, and he still finished 3rd. Like, it can happen. When you think of quality-wise, Liverpool will drop off, but they'll still be in and around amongst it. They're not going to be as good, I don't think. They could be, though. I don't think it's that hard. If they short up the defense, their attack still gets bare goals. Yeah, but they're not going to be 2nd or 1st, let's be real. Man City or Man City. I think Tottenham get that a little bit better because squad depth, and I really like their recruitment. Man United, I don't think they're going to be as good, but with 1 game a week, you never know. It might
get better.
Newcastle should get better. Aston Villa might get better. That's a mad one. That's a question mark. And then, like Chelsea's in the consensus. I think it'll be a tough battle, but it's not about having a tough battle this time. It's about making sure you get the recruitment right so you can finish solidly, like in the top 3.
So what I'm hearing is from a lot of people, like you guys, is that it's a risk. But I've agreed with you. It could work. It might not work. So it could backfire, though, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. People going ultra negatives. Oh, you're gonna flop. What are you doing, McKenna? Who's that? Or Hoyness, what his name is. And people going, oh, it's gonna work. It's gonna bang. I'm in the middle. I'm gonna see how it goes. Like, that's what I can do.
I'm interested to know who's on Man United's list because Cass is always alluding, and Man United fans are alluding to obviously them getting a new manager. But again, who's on your list? Because your list can't be much better.
So the thing is, I've kind of concluded with Man United. I don't think none of us truly know. I don't know. The thing is, I'm kind of leaning towards De Zerbi at this point because Milan just got a new manager in Fonseca. Go look at it. Juve got a new manager. Yeah. So Juve just got Motta. Well, it's about to load in. He's been offered in all the personal terms. Fabrizio ruling out Bayern Munich now because they ruled out, and it looks like it's company. I can't believe it. Xavi's staying, and they're kind of saying you are staying now. That's it. And then I look at Man United and Chelsea. I thought if Chelsea sacked Pochettino, surely you'd have confirmed De Zerbi by this point. And it's like the only way you're gonna wait is because of a FA Cup, maybe. I don't know. It's out of Chelsea and Man United. It could be someone else.
Ooh, so, Memphis available.
But I don't know. I don't know because last time I checked, Tuchel's on the list. I know that for free. The Zerbi should be on the list, and then somebody else should be on the list that I don't know, really and truly. You tell me, basically. That's not out of them two. I don't mind that as much, but we're not in the same position as Chelsea. Chelsea needs to go.
Position.
Yeah, Chelsea needs to go further forward, right, and push up and be more established. Where Man United needs to find once again, an actual identity and something going forward as a club, not as just a football team, but as a club. So getting someone like the Zerbi or McKenna for Man United, it's like, all right, cool, let's see where this goes. You can probably risk that for the season, but Chelsea can't, I don't think.
This is right. I think this is why the Chelsea conversation is so interesting, because Chelsea are ready to make that step forward, and it appears that they're going to get a manager who could take them back, whereas United they're at United can't get any worse than this. It's the worst finish ever in the Premier League, ever. Yeah, so they can't get any worse. So they are ready now just to rip it all up and start again. Like, we all know that United ain't challenging for nothing for the next 3 years minimum. Whereas Chelsea are ready to make that push on and maybe get into a top 4. And that's why I think if they do get someone like a McKenna, that's just sending out a complete wrong message. You made one or two steps forward and you're just going way back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it goes back to Potter, doesn't it? It's almost the same appointment as a Potter. Would you agree with that?
That's what it looks like. Someone that might not know how to handle a big club, don't know how to act, really, might not really get on with the board, maybe because, I'm not being funny, it's like this board can't get along properly with managers at this point.
Because they have unrealistic expectations of how a football club should be ran.
Correct.
Because
that's exactly what it is. They got no idea. And you know what it is, Cassia? I'll just finish that point. Is that they are trying to get in people who have absolutely no footballing background from a top level club, so they can't be questioned. That is what they are trying to do. Frank Lampard said it was an absolute mess. He was like, this is a joke. Pochettino's now walked out the door. Nagelsmann rocked up there, thought it was a joke. Vivell the same. Anyone who's been involved in a top level club can question the directors and the direction they're trying to move the club in.
And Dan, what managers are not going to question it?
Young managers, mate, who haven't played football at the top level. Yeah,
people who are happy to be there.
So basically, Chelsea's just could have been records.
It's what?
That's what Chelsea. It's a record label, bro. Club's a record label. Could have been records.
And I'm not being funny, yeah, but like,
George already gets it, man, bro. You get it. George will get it.
These man don't get it.
Wait, let me just quickly do this. AP, it was mutual termination. Poch wanted to leave. I think
he wanted to leave because he didn't get the shit that he wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite clear. This isn't speculation. It's come from the journalist who said this is what happened. Pochettino wanted concessions. He didn't want them to sell certain players, and Chelsea were like, "Do one. You're not in charge of this. We're in charge of the playing squad. You just coach them." It's quite clear, man.
A quick one as well, with 4 likes off of 200. So just a reminder, anyone that's in here, again, YouTube's messed up. We don't know how many are actually in here at this point. So it all is where it is. But do smash the like button. It does help, and it will help continue further. If you haven't subscribed and you're new and you haven't done it yet, then here's your chance as well. Just a quick pause on that. But I was going to say, like, that Paul Winstanley, right? He's the one that come from Brighton, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one that Lawrence
Stewart, one is a clown, mate.
Was it that Lawrence Stewart come from Monaco? Correct?
Yeah, and Red Bull's system as well.
No wonder why
he's a clown, mate.
I'm not being funny. Monaco, a few years ago or so, you'd be like, all right, I can grab one of their director of footballs and stuff like that, blah blah. But it is meaty, isn't it? Like when you're deep.
So he was technical director there, but he was sporting director for Red Bull. So slightly different role at Monaco to what he has at Chelsea. But
so meaty.
Yeah, 100%. I don't disagree. I've literally watched it as an interview. You can go and find. It's like one of the first things that comes up for him. He's talking about scouting and how he scouts players, and he starts comparing it to Mindhunter, a Netflix documentary about serial killers. Like the guy is delusional.
Your football club's so funny, bro. Honestly, it's insane, bro.
Wait, say that again. Serial killers.
I haven't seen the documentary yet, but the interview is there. And he starts comparing scouting footballers and their mental like attributes and how they act to a Mindhunter series on Netflix that he recently watched. And that's he makes that comparison.
Series, by the way. Tune in, man. That's a good series.
Yeah, but George, he used that to compare scouting footballers. Can you see a correlation there?
Because they were literally investigating the craziest serial killer story.
Wait, who is this? Dan, who is this?
Lawrence Stewart.
Lawrence Stewart, yeah. I'm telling you now, yeah.
clown.
You know what? I wouldn't mind. You know what? At this point, when I deep as a building block, I actually wouldn't mind Pochettino at Man United now. Like deep in it, I think it's a match.
It's a good
I
move.
think it's a match made in hell. I think it's just going to be a disaster in the end, regardless. But just to finish above Chelsea, like just to have a bit of drive in someone to make sure to tell them you shut the fuck up. I wouldn't mind that. Just to gloat, just to gloat, because I've got nothing else going on in my life for Man United. So wouldn't mind that.
You know what? Can I just say one last thing? Yeah, you know
can.
that this is why I sort of like low key rate the guy at United, Jim Ratcliffe, right? Because he's come into United and he's not gone around Billy Big Bollocks going, I know what's best. He's come in and gone, I'm gonna get the best people in the game to get in the relevant positions. He went and got the guy from City. He's trying to get the guy from Newcastle, yeah, even though they went around it illegally. And they're getting the best in class. You know what I mean? And I just think like that to me, if I was a United fan, I'd go, right, he's not coming in thinking he knows what's best for the players and the manager. He's getting people to make those decisions. And I feel like this guy at Chelsea, obviously, he's got people in, but who are these people? Are they the right people for Chelsea? Well, they're clearly not, because you just have to look at the state.
No, but having said all this, yeah, we still finished 6th in the league and made it to 2 finals. So it was like,
yeah, but bro, come on, like look at the league.
no, but LB, you're gonna get. This is one of our last
2
season.
finals.
You said Man United, yeah,
What's this? 2 finals.
semi-final and final in the Carabao Cup. But that's not,
I'm
anyway.
not being funny. I'm not being funny, but there's another name.
Let me finish with my point though.
Huh?
Semi-finals, not a final.
Wait,
One
Ches,
sec, man. Let me go Taz. One sec, bro. Let me finish up. Anyway,
Ches, do you know who your CEO is?
but why is that relevant to what I'm about to say?
Because this makes sense. Go on, continue. Because this sounds
Anyway,
watch.
LB was saying before, Man United, yeah,
Go on.
they can't get worse because they finished 8th in the league. They're worse. Chelsea last season finished 12th. One of the worst seasons of recent date, of course, last 20 years. They couldn't get any worse than that either. So for the team to come together, youngest team we've put together, a manager who just came in, yes, he's got experience, hella injuries, for us to finish 6th, 2 finals, in a very poor season, in my opinion, 1 final once, semantics, then if I could see that, I have no reason why they can't look at it and go, we want to improve. And you agree, because you're like, we're in a good position to go up. So when you're talking about the managers coming in, we go for McKenna and these man there, it's a risk either way. So if my thing is like, just literally, they're being bold by saying, nah, Poch, you know what? You've been dusty this season. None of that. In a bit. Don't want to hear you talking about transfers. Brush. Cancun for you. Let's go for a new guy. Yes, he might be a yes man. But it might work out the same way you might say it might not work out. So it's a risk. So like, I don't want everyone's they're over talking about it like it's that deep. It's just they got to get the decision right. Don't get it twisted. They get it wrong. We are finished.
I see why. Do you know why Chelsea is such a mess?
Now. Like you're finished now.
By the way,
we're definitely not.
Mons, hear this out. Hear me out, yeah.
Go on.
Their CEO is a guy called Chris Jurasek, yeah, guy with no footballing background, just Clearlake background.
Made that outrageous statement, didn't he, as well? Like.
So he was at Clearlake for 9 years. I'm looking at now for something, and also works under Eagle View. When you look at CEOs these days, they have footballing experience and stuff like that. They don't know what goes on in the world. If this doesn't scream Richard Arnold or John Murtough type situation at Man United, I don't know what does. Where owner only employs the CEO for someone that they trust, that they worked with before. And this is why maybe the direction of Chelsea is the way where it is. And then after that, you've got meaty ballers in front, like Chris Wall, that Win Stanley guy and whatnot. I can see why it's a bit of a shit show and the direction is a bit of a mess at this moment of time. So on that notice, if you don't even know that as a Chelsea fan, then that's a bit mental, in my opinion. When you got no, when it's
George about Mont's answer, George, do you think we're going to go backwards? Looking at the list, Mont as well, because LB said yes, we're going to go back. Kaz in the middle as always.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean?
What it is, right? I think the idea, right?
I don't think your players are as good as you know. When Kaz says you got very good players, I don't think that. I
think
your
players very clearly. We're not going to win a trophy, and we're going to finish lower than 6th. I'm sorry. I just hear my logic. I'm going to clip this all up, so I just want to hear you. No, that's fine. You clip what you want up. Do you know what I'm saying? There's enough clips.
Make sure you make the clip even when you're wrong. Don't do the. Then it never appears, isn't it?
Bro, listen. How about this? Man United don't have a good manager, and they have okay players in it. They got a couple okay players, and they still managed to steal victories throughout the season. And like you, get to a final. Same shit. Yeah, I think your players are okay. Like, I don't think they're very good. If your players were very good, you wouldn't be continuously losing under maybe shaky tactics. This wouldn't be the theme for so long of the season. Good players find the way. And for too many times this season, you didn't find the way. I've seen enough for me to think that your players are just mediocre. Not all of them are mediocre. You got some good players. Obviously, there's a few players that are really good. But the majority of your squad is quite average, in my opinion. It's quite average.
Yeah, keep it to your opinion, because I think you're talking worse.
Well, you're obviously not going to like what I'm saying, because those are your boys. You know what I'm saying? Those are your guys. But as a rival fan, I saw what I saw on too many occasions this season. I don't think your players are as good as you think they are.
She's got nothing to do with coaching.
I don't think the manager helped that situation no more.
Coaching plays a big part in it, Chess. 100% coaching plays a big part in it. But I'm just saying, too many, like, as a good players find the way. And a lot of the part of the season,
I don't think that's fair.
A lot of the time, it's for two. I'm just saying, for
did Nunes find a way? Did Diaz find a way?
But Nunes is crap.
That's my point. And guess you got him. Guess you got him. Guess you got him. Guess you bought him.
You're proving me right. Nunes didn't find the way because I don't deem him good enough. And Jurgen Klopp is an elite coach, bro. He's an elite coach.
I guess you bought him.
Nunes is not good enough. He's not good enough. You're deflecting to me when I'm talking about your club and players that I don't think are very, very good. I just think they're average, bro. Madueke, average. Mudryk, average.
Decent. Nkunku's average.
You haven't even seen Nkunku play. He played about 10 games.
Ches, let me know. Let me know. I said you've got some really good players. I didn't say you have any. You have some. Like Reece James is a really, really good player. Nkunku is a really, really good player. You know what I'm saying? You've got some really good ballers in there. I think you got about 3 or 4, but that's just really good ballers. Do you know what I'm saying? Arsenal have a whole fucking squad of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, other teams have a whole squad of really good players. You have like 3 or 4. The rest of your squad is average, bro. Average. Like,
I disagree though.
To maybe get to the next level. And I feel like coaching obviously has been an issue as well. But you know what I'm saying?
So Mons, that kind of explains why they're trying to move towards a young, progressive coach that will have his main focus on developing the players. Which I get. The issue is though, Mons. No, it was. Hang on. No, it isn't. Let me finish. Right?
What?
It isn't, because when they hired Pochettino, they literally said and quoted, "He's a winning manager." They're now going back. Well, he isn't, is he, LB? I agree. So it proves that they got it wrong and they completely misprofiled the guy, and that's why he's leaving in 1 year, because the directors got it wrong. But the issue is that they obviously have realised that they probably went wrong with Pochettino. Now they need to go for someone who fits the mould of what they were looking for originally in a Graham Potter. The issue is that they might improve the players, but I'm not sure that the results will.
The thing is, that's the trade-off,
I don't think the players are gonna, like, people keep trying to. Poch is a very good coach. Let's not try and take this way. I don't know if I can agree. No. We're not. You can use this little 12-month period, but Graham Potter never coached these players good. But Graham Potter's a very good coach.
Graham Potter never had these players. Just to let you know, as well.
Over a good 10-year period of football, Southampton, Spurs, maybe not PSG, as the players were above his level. They were all really good. At Spurs and Southampton, he was known to be one of the top coaches to get the best out of players. He knows how to improve players. At what point are Chelsea fans just going to acknowledge, like me and Mons said, he couldn't improve these players because they're not that good? It's as simple as that.
He did improve some players
as he could, and he improved some of them. He improved some of the players that were good
enough. Jackson not improved.
You can't expect him to improve every team. You can't expect him.
The Gusto not improve. The Palmer not improve.
Again.
Not improve.
So wait, you're saying that he did improve these players? He coached these players.
I'm telling you, he improved players, but the tactic side, which you also spoke about, was poor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But that's the thing you're saying. The majority of your squad is average.
In your opinion, because definitely.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but you can say it's opinions, but from what we've seen, all right, cool. Man, can say it's opinions. Let me add something. Yeah, the point is, though, if you go for someone like Kieran McKenna, who's good, he's good with bringing up the youth. The trade-off is
This is going to be his first season managing in the Premier League, and his tactics probably won't be as good as someone else. So then, yeah, your players might get better, but maybe you'll lose games because he's played the wrong tactics, and then you're just going to have the same.
Inexperience,
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the same situation.
LB, the fans who want him out. I'm telling you, if the new manager, if Chelsea are 8th or 9th with this new young yes man type manager with this some sort of identity of football, they're going to want him out. Same way they did with Potter. Same way they did with Poch. There's no affinity. There's no affinity.
I think there'll be more on the board. Basically, the next guy comes in with flopping.
I was told this about Poch, by the way. I was told this about Poch.
No, pause. If they say we want a young guy to coach these young players, we want to improve the tactics, or it's crap, they're 8th in the league. The attention won't be on that guy, it'll be on the board. Because this is clearly on them. Poch is meant to be brought in to improve the players and to improve the winning mentality. He only done one part. That's why he's out the door. And also he wanted to do board membership and all that crap. So if we flop next season with McKenna or the Enzo guy, everyone will be on the board. Because then everyone would say, you know what, you got rid of Poch, you want these young players.
Enzo guy?
Enzo the Leicester, the X-Man.
Maresca is actually someone we played Leicester, didn't we, in the FA Cup?
Yeah, they were good against us.
Outplayed Chelsea for a long time in that game. That's one of the only managers I can really comment on because I literally watched what he done against Chelsea. And
man, we're talking about championship managers.
We are talking about championship, yeah, but whatever he had his Leicester team doing was better than what Poch had his Chelsea team doing that day.
It's mad.
That's the only thing I can say. Other than that, I can't say I've watched a lot of Leicester.
We lost to Middlesbrough.
No, he was Pep's right hand, so I think he would actually be a good manager.
But you don't want
Leicester played good that day against Chelsea.
Ten Hag was Pep's right hand as well. Here we go.
It's so
Ten Hag's an anomaly. That's what it is. Ten Hag's
why is it an anomaly, but this one is an anomaly?
Oh, because I mean, his team's doing what they're doing. They're playing some good football. Ten Hag, everyone said, "Oh,
championship."
No, but the difference is this is at Leicester, whereas Ten Hag went into a system at Ajax that was already working before.
No, it wasn't. That's how I know your knowledge is not there. No, it wasn't because they didn't even win the league in 3 years before he jumped.
It doesn't matter not winning it in 3 years. 3 years is not a long time.
Ajax ball was never the same as Ajax Ballgy. Go check it out.
Ajax ball has always been Ajax ball. They've always played good football.
They've had an identity. They had an identity.
And also, the one thing that Man United fans got wrong that I told them more than 24 months ago when he first came in, his talent ID isn't good. He had players given to him by the Ajax board and the Ajax academy that were of a top level. Now you're starting to realize that, and now you're starting to realize that everyone's starting to be like, "Oh no, you were right, man." His talent ID.
There's one thing that no one's ever said that is Jules is right, and second of all, Ajax didn't win. They lost the league twice to PSV and final before he come in and had to change up loads of stuff with Overmars and so forth. So on that notice. Yeah, and final, they won the league. There was 3 trophies before he went in.
But that's
anyways.
First 3 years about winning it. Just
because Leicester. All right, let me give you this then. Leicester at the end of the season, he gave it away. How about that? Do people not notice that? They gave it away. Yeah, bro, they had a run of literally not winning in loads of games. So on that notice, this Enzo Maresca.
How long was loads of games?
You know what it is? You know what? I'm not having this meaty conversation, because at the end of the day,
I don't know the stats.
10 years ago, if you're Chelsea, Man United, maybe even Liverpool or whatever, or not Liverpool, 10 years ago, you were dusty. But, bro, you'd go out there, and you're like, okay, the manager got sacked. Cool. Let me go look at Juventus. Let me go look at Milan. Let me go look at one of these clubs and let's see if I can teeth one of theirs. Now, we're talking about hippie managers from the Championship, fam, or in the Premier League. This is how dusty it is. So, it's a bit mental. But you know what's not mental? Pep manager of the year deserves. Some people say Emery should have got it, but I don't know what you man think on that.
Well, we didn't lose a game since the 6th of December, man.
This is a conversation of only last week. I was saying Pep deserves it, and easily why he deserves it. But some were saying Emery, he should have grabbed it.
It's our second highest points total in the last 5 years, even though we had a bad year apparently. Yeah. We didn't lose a game since the 6th of December, and we put ourselves in a position where the only way we could possibly win the league is by winning 9 out of 9 after we drew against Arsenal, and we did it. For me, it's
night and day.
Yeah,
I think it is,
definitely. I think Emery's form let probably his argument down towards the end of the season, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%.
After he got his Arsenal job done and just got his revenge, he was like, right, I'm done now, holiday.
But then again,
you sat there and let Spurs destroy themselves, literally.
And
Yeah.
also the other thing with
with that run, Aston Villa's run and how they were doing, Spurs easily could have finished top 4 this season.
But there does
you know the other
Spurs-
thing with Pep as well, yeah, is that he obviously had a harder challenge this year than he did last year against Arteta's Arsenal, and he still stepped it up.
Facts.
Like, Arsenal
And we
didn't
made our
drop
team
off, did
worse
they,
in the
this
transfer
time?
market as well, Dan.
Yeah,
Forget
true,
that.
exactly. Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
looked back at my predictions
Arsenal
of.
team and Pep's floor.
Yeah, trust me. I literally said that I couldn't believe the players you let go of and then actually didn't replace. Like Nunes obviously didn't replace Gundogan. You never really replaced Mahrez or even Cole Palmer. So, like, I mean, Doku came in, didn't he? But you lost like 3-1, really.
I was going to say this though. Would you say just out of this was some Emery's achievement with Villa is greater than City's coming first? How are people ignoring this? What's the
Facts.
big?
I can't lie. They
Oh,
was
I
in
know.
relegation when he
It's-
joined. They were literally a
In
relegation.
isolation,
Yeah, but that's 2 seasons ago, George. Last
It was
season.
18 months ago.
All right, yeah, but it was
He
last
joined halfway
season.
through the
It was-
season. And to be fair, you have to look at the fact that to start this season, no one expected Villa to do what they done. No one expected them to even maybe
apart
challenge
from
for
Rory
Europe.
Jennings, actually.
Yeah,
Rory
to be
Jennings
fair,
actually-
yeah,
Some
Super
people may have
actually
expected
called
them
it.
to challenge into Europe, similar to what Newcastle done, but no one expected them to push on. And to be fair, to stay as consistent as they would, maybe the last 3 or 4 games, once they realized that Tottenham wasn't challenging them, you can see they was on holiday. They weren't really playing for the games that they was, but they performed at a high level and consistent level for the majority of the season. They're the team that stopped Arsenal from winning the league, essentially. Like they've had some big results against some big teams.
Bro, George,
Emery, it's not even in isolation though. You just have to look at,
No, but as in, like,
Ollie Watkins,
in terms of-
his performances this season. Ollie, he's took that team to a whole new level. I
You know why I said that,
agree with
George?
Colby and say that
People
Pep,
say-
like it's been undeniable not losing the game, but
100%.
his achievement is massive.
People go, oh yeah, but the 4P. That's what I'm saying in isolation. If you look at this season alone, Emery getting 4th is a lot of a higher leap than Man City winning the Premier League in isolation. If you want to use the 4P as an
manager
example,
of the season is isolation. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I agree. Emery
You're right,
probably,
like, facts.
if he didn't, like Dan said, he didn't tail off, he probably deserved it a bit more. Not because Pep doesn't deserve the league, because he's sick.
Well, I've
Yeah.
actually said personally that I think there should be a manager's award for whoever wins the league, and then like a separate one in it. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of weird not giving the manager of the year award to the manager
guy
who
who
won the
won the
league.
league, yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like you should get the manager of the year. Like you won the league, you're the best manager. But then I think there should be like a separate one then for like everyone else. Because I just think that's the way it is. Like someone tried to, like if you think about it, yeah, Everton. I think Sean Dyche deserves massive credit. 4th best defense in the league. Yeah, he's had how many points deduction? 6 points or something like
true.
that.
Yeah,
He got him
points.
They
safe.
didn't score a lot of goals though, LB, did they? That's
It's irrelevant though. It's irrelevant, isn't it? If he got him safe, I think Iriola at Bournemouth.
It's like their best. It's like their best
Yeah,
finish.
do you know what?
That's
That's a better shout for me is Iraola, because a lot of people were like, "Who is this guy coming in?" They've just sacked Gary O'Neill. It was obvious they believed they could do better than what Gary O'Neill was offering them, and a lot of people questioned that. And ultimately, he got them 10th. And do you know what? He plays serious football, and if he hadn't just signed a new contract, that would be the absolute one I'd be advocating for. At
Just
Chelsea.
like Chelsea, Dan. We play bad football now, we get a new coach, become 4th in the league next season.
You just don't know, Ches.
I'm just saying, man.
LB, I hear what LB's saying by like suggesting that Chelsea go backwards, and
touched up again
I'm
about the
very
players.
fearful of that too.
I wonder why Mons cares about our players so much. I wonder why.
I mean, you can always have
don't
Ten Hag.
Mons, that 5
I'd
a.m.
take
still
Ten
haunting
Hag,
to
by
this
the
day,
way.
yeah?
I'd take Ten
What
Hag
you
over some of the names that are being chucked about.
Hey, yo, please.
Oh,
Please.
bro.
This one.
I said that 5 a.m.
Please.
still haunting you, yeah? That 5
That's
a.m. last
me.
year.
Bro, I haven't even mentioned his name, bro. I'm talking
That
about your
5 a.m.
squad.
last year is haunting
Bro,
you.
listen, Ches, my
6 a.m.
thing is that, bro, when Noni starts for you, bro, man, when Madueke is a starting winger for you, bro.
You got Nunes as a starting striker, bro. Read the room.
He's
I
not.
like read the room.
No, but there's
Well,
still levels.
hang on. No, Ches, wait. You can't do that because Nunes comes with evidence at Benfica that he was a top striker.
he's
Madueke
still
comes
crap
with
though,
injuries from the Dutch.
So I don't
league.
really care about the
You know what I'm
past.
saying, bro? Man, like Noni, bro. Give it.
Has
a rest.
Darwin Nunes not scored more goals this season than Noni's had like his whole career, bruv? What are we
Oh,
doing?
bro,
man?
it's not
Like,
even, bro.
this
That's
is
what I mean when I
I'll
say
be
the
comparing a
level.
striker to a winger,
The level.
though.
Just
Let's not do that.
level,
he's just a
bro.
rubbish
Let's
winger.
not
Then.
do that.
Okay, he's a winger that takes on his
Bro, I
mind. I've
told
had this
you that
conversation
the
with Don.
Like, bro,
Let's not talk about this again, bro.
I'm telling you, bro, he sits with
Let's
like.
not do
showing-
Madueke
Yeah, bro,
again.
he
Let's
sits
not
with,
do
like,
by the way,
I'm
KT again. I
telling
was
you,
joking, man.
bro, how about this, George? I'm telling you, he sits with Alanga and that, bro.
Mons, you don't need to get triggered,
And
bro. I
even
was
that,
joking.
how about
Relax.
this? Even the Alanga thing is that's a disrespect to Alanga, bro. He sits with like Oddbert, and them, man. And Ogbot's still a decent winger, to
You're
be
still
fair. I like
taking him,
Ogbot.
though, Monch. You're still taking him.
I'm not taking him that way. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I like to see this guy get all rattled by the transfer. It makes me laugh,
It's
bro.
crazy, bro.
Oh,
Like,
mate, have you?
if you go through your squad, it's just
He
not
still
that
starts for you,
good.
though, innit? But calm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this whole summer's gonna be a whole mess. Like, even got Man United apparently Barada tapping up Edwards. And actually, to be fair, in Premier League rulings, there's no such thing as a rule against tapping up staff members. By the way, it's just managers and players.
Yeah, but Barada's meant to be on gardening leave, innit? You know what I mean? So,
But
what's all
apparently,
that about?
they're pushing that towards Newcastle's as a thing, so Man United can pay more money and put pressure. But there's an arbitrary going on like in the next week, so it's going to be so. Now, apparently, Dan Ashworth on the Times from Telly Edwards, yeah, he said that apparently Newcastle's already sacked him before, and he's got proof. So who's lying? Who's I don't know, man. Whatever, man. But this club can't.
Guys, apparently we're looking at this guy. The Enzo guy is the leading candidate, apparently. The Enzo.
Yeah, well, it might be a good fit. It might not be. Who knows?
That's been Potter for Leicester.
You've got Arnie Slots. I don't know why you're laughing.
Manager is
I
fun.
don't know why you're showing teeth. You've got
better than
Arnie
that.
Slot.
He's better than that Enzo,
I'm not a
brother.
good manager, man. I don't.
No,
You've got
he
Arnie
is
Slot
Enzo.
and he's showing teeth.
I ain't even gonna lie. At this point, when you think of available managers, Arne Slot looks better than all of them.
I don't know why you're talking as well. You ain't got a manager yet. So you can
Hey, brother, that's what I just said. Yeah, I'm not the one that's getting rattled here. I said out of all of this, it looks like Liverpool are
responded
getting a
then.
better manager that's available than anyone.
The team stinks, innit? Leadership.
Bro, Cass, you're not allowed to say that because
Don't
my
nibble,
manager's
man.
name
Don't
has
nibble,
brands
don't
him
nibble,
come
don't
shot on all bro. Because my manager's name brands him come shot on all these slot. Like, you're not allowed to say that.
And he's
You're not
done.
allowed to say that. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowed
But
to
I mean,
Yeah, but we're gonna get Enzo molester, mate. Like, what can you do about that?
Oh, yeah, true say.
He's coming in to manage a bunch of kids.
Man's
Do you know what I mean?
oh my days!
Why do you have to say that, bro? That
You should never have said that. You should
Yeah,
never have
Man,
said
you're so
that.
silly, man. Oh, you're moving mad.
Yeah, I hope this one happens now. I swear down. And then imagine that Honus ends up coming to the Premier League as well. That would be it. You got Slut, Honus, and you got Molester. Crazy.
No.
But yeah, so I smashed it, but we're gonna end there. We should be back tonight as well. Funny times, man. This Premier League is a joke, man. What a farmers league. But yeah, in a bit, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to everyone. All their channels in the description below. You can find them there. Don't be lazy. Even if there's 3 of you, that's all of City's fan base watching right now. In a bit.